Martina Navratilova, you hear that name and you immediately think tennis legend, right? But her story, oh, it goes so much deeper than just what she did on the court. Her journey is one of incredible talent, yes, but also fierce determination and the kind of courage that changes not only a sport, but the world around it.
Let's just start with a number that's, well, it's almost hard to believe. 167. That is how many top-level singles titles Martina Navratilova won. It's the record for the Open era. That's more than any other player in history, male or female, period.
And then there's this number, 59. That's her total haul of major titles, Grand Slams, across singles, doubles, and mixed doubles. And this just goes to show, it was never just about being a great singles player. It was about complete and total mastery of the sport in all of its forms.
But her dominance was probably clearest on the sport's biggest stage, 9. That's how many times she lifted the singles trophy at Wimbledon. It's an all-time record, making her the undisputed queen of the world's most famous court.
But to really understand the champion, you have to understand the journey. And her legacy didn't begin with a trophy. It began with a courageous escape from an oppressive regime.
So, born in Prague, Czechoslovakia, Martina was a tennis prodigy right from the start. Her talent was just undeniable. By the age of just 15, she had already won her country's national tennis championship. A star was very clearly on the rise.
But her ambition was way bigger than what her home country would allow. Her path took a really sharp, dramatic turn in 1975 during a tournament in New York City. At just 18 years old, she made a decision that would change her life forever.
Just think about that for a moment. An 18-year-old in a foreign country, risking absolutely everything for the freedom to chase her potential. The response from her home government was swift and it was harsh. They stripped her of her citizenship. For a time, she was a woman without a country.
Once she secured her freedom, Navratilova didn't just play tennis. She completely revolutionized it. This wasn't just about winning anymore. It was a fundamental shift in how the women's game was played, introducing a new, unprecedented level of athleticism and pure power.
And at the very heart of this era was her legendary rivalry with Chris Evert. It was a perfect storm. The aggressive, athletic, serve-and-volley game of Navratilova versus the cool, consistent, baseline precision of Evert. It was a clash of styles that absolutely captivated millions.
They were the fiercest of competitors, battling it out in final after final. But their rivalry was built on a deep, mutual respect. They pushed each other to be better, to innovate, and together, they defined an entire generation of women's tennis.
And when all the dust settled on what is arguably the greatest rivalry in the history of the sport, the numbers show that Navratilova managed to get the upper hand, especially when the stakes were highest in those Grand Slam finals.
During her peak in the early 80s, she wasn't just the best, she was virtually invincible. Over a 3-year span, she lost a grand total of 6 times. 6! It's a level of dominance that's almost hard to wrap your head around.
The statistics from this period are just staggering. In 1983, she went 86-1, the best single-season record in history. She rattled off 74 consecutive match wins, another record, and she won 6 straight Grand Slam titles. These numbers aren't just records, they are monuments to her absolute authority over the sport.
But Martina's legacy isn't just confined to wins and losses. She used her platform to become a powerful, trailblazing voice for social change, long before it was really common for athletes to do so.
In 1981, not long after becoming a U.S. citizen, she came out. It's hard to overstate how momentous this was. At a time when being openly gay could end a career and invite public scorn, she did it at the absolute height of her fame, becoming one of the first truly global sports superstars to live openly and pave the way for others.
And she never stopped speaking out. Having lived under an oppressive government, she was a fierce critic of communism. She marched for equal rights and has dedicated herself to numerous charities, consistently using her voice to advocate for the causes she believes in.
More recently, she's become a central and often controversial figure in the complex debate around the inclusion of transgender women in female sports. She has called for a conversation based on science and fairness, stating that rules need to evolve to handle this new frontier in athletics.
This brings us to her final remarkable chapter. Because even after a career that already defined greatness, Navratilova had one more act that would cement her legacy as a truly ageless wonder. After initially retiring from singles in 1994, she just couldn't stay away. She came back to the tour to play doubles and mixed doubles, competing at the highest level against players who were literally half her age, showcasing a love for the game and a longevity that was simply unheard of.
I mean, just consider the incredible span of her career. She won her final major, the mixed doubles at the 2006 U.S. Open, just a month shy of her 50th birthday. 32 years separated her first Grand Slam title from her last. She won majors in 4 different decades.
Her fellow legends agree. Billie Jean King, another icon who changed the sport, didn't mince words. She called Martina the greatest all-around player, singles, doubles, and mixed doubles who has ever lived. That's the ultimate praise from the ultimate peer.
And that praise is backed up by this incredible achievement, the boxed set. What that means is winning a career Grand Slam, all 4 majors, in singles, in women's doubles, and in mixed doubles. Only 3 women in history have ever done it. It is a true mark of complete and total dominance over every aspect of tennis.
Ultimately, her story is so much bigger than any single achievement. She was a record-shattering athlete, a courageous defector, a pioneering activist, and a global icon. Her legacy really forces us to ask, what truly defines greatness? Is it just the numbers, or is it the impact someone has on the world, far beyond the lines of the court?